It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Coming up next.
We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Ready to get us started here, Riley Patterson. And we are underway from FedEx Field. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And he returns this to the 22. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
This is 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Work in the middle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Not only a fumble loss there, but a fumble lost on your first drive in your own territory.
Now you're dealing with a lot of stuff here because you feel bad going off the field because you gave up the football. How does your own defense feel now having to go out there and stop them when the momentum is clearly shifted in their favor?
So here's Washington now in excellent field position to start things out. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Following the fumble recovery, Daniels. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On third down, Daniels. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
They go play action here on first down.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task of forcing the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and 2, Daniels.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have the Commanders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got it. Touchdown, Washington.
A great effort there with an amazing diving catch.
And the Commanders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dorrance Armstrong just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Take it at the 37. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Gets this out quickly to Dotson. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of a short passing game here early in the 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
It's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Off the play fake. Daniels. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football. As they've got it, looking at a 4th down and 2. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the 1st. And the Eagles defense able to hold. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen Hey, third down situation. Big third down alert. Lock in here. Fourth down play. Make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. That's how you draw up the run-pass option right there. You get a chunk play out of it.
And you know quarterbacks love to throw the RPOs because oftentimes they're in-breaking routes, but receivers love it even more. The ball gets to them quickly, allows them to put some moves on in the secondary.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the option left, it's Hurts. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with this 4th down call.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
Throwing to start the drive. Daniels slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Back to the air on second down. Daniels, middle of the field. He's got McLaurin. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. Throwing on first down. Daniels.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
To throw on second down, Daniels.
And that one too high and incomplete.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Back to throw again.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Looking to throw. Daniels.
Here's a screen for Robinson.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15.
Back to throw. Daniels. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Fourth down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Patterson's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Patterson back out there to send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. Well, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This short throw caught by Goddard. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Second and 6. Now back to throw. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They'll throw now on the final play. Out route pass complete to Goddard. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Taken at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. This This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On first down, Daniels. Going to be caught downfield by Dotson. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On first and 10, Daniels. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides, and there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10. To throw again, Daniels. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Try to power it in with Arma. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line down at the 2. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body, getting to him before he can get started.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Again, they go with a fullback Arma. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal.
Robinson will score. Touchdown, Commanders. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point try now for Patterson.
It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the 3rd down conversion.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for him so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he let his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Here's Hurts to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 19.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a first down.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Second down, here's Hurts. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And the Eagles are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing is Hurts. Flushed out, under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. It's the former number 4 overall pick, Cleveland Ferrell, that got in there to bring him down. The first and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
And now can they reverse the trend on third and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? This one goes out wide for Barkley. Touchdown, Eagles! Saquon Barkley, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have made it a 1-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And now off to the races, down the right side. Still going past the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. A big-time special teams play here in the fourth quarter to extend their lead.
And coaches preach it all the time. If you can score on special teams, your chances of winning the game really jump up in a big way. Now, I'll let our analytics friends quantify it and give us the exact numbers, but that's what coaches talk about all the time, that extra momentum, that extra bounce you get from a special team score.
I don't have any analytics friends. Those are your friends.
I'll claim them.
Patterson now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. This taken in right around the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On first down, Hurts. Throw left side, complete. That's Campbell. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind, with him running the team, that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Going for the knockout ball right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got him this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Hurts. And he is caught. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll look to throw again. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They go play action with Hurts.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
2nd down, goal to go. They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Eagles have got it back to within a score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Washington offense going back to work. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game here in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at the earliest opportunity or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Operating from the gun, Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll let the QB keep it here off the option. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43.
The call, still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot. They'll run again. And he will have a Commanders 1st down, and that should just about do it. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.